Hey everybody, Alex Kazora, SteelersDepot.com, back with some more Pittsburgh Steelers tape breakdown and analysis. Pittsburgh Steelers had a heck of a time stopping tight ends this season, and yet they held Colts tight end Tyler Warren to a season-low 26 yards. How did that happen? Let's talk about it. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com, would really appreciate that. So I would put this into 2 or 3 buckets of how Pittsburgh contained Tyler Warren. 1, Jaylen Ramsay. 2, a lot better tackling. And 3, Pittsburgh's pass rush. We'll talk about all 3. We'll start with Jaylen Ramsay. Even though he played safety in this game, he was shadowing Tyler Warren on a lot of third downs. Pittsburgh played a good deal of man coverage, cover 1 with Ramsay on Warren, and we see it here. Ramsay following Warren on the motion. He chips, releases out. This pass, unfortunately, completed and converted early in the game. You know, even though Ramsay was playing safety, I think it almost aided the ability to play man-to-man on Tyler Warren a little easier from that safety spot, maybe in some ways a little less obvious if he's playing outside corner. You know, you have to show your hand a little bit sooner, and maybe some situations where Ramsay would have to play, outside corner and take a receiver instead of the tight end. So just basic cover 1. Pittsburgh played a lot of cover 2 and some 2-high looks and split safety looks in this game, but in these third down situations, went back to a lot of man-to-man that got Ramsay on Warren. Cam Hayward makes the play on this one, but if he didn't, Jaylen Ramsay was going to be right there for it. We see Hayward bat this pass, and then behind it, you see Ramsay take a good shot on Tyler Warren. So, knowing where he was at all game, is this true man-to-man? I think Ramsay's probably a little more of a lurk position here and driving on the football, but obviously very much attentive to where Warren was at. And had this been completed, which who knows if he holds on to it, Ramsay certainly was physical in this game. And that element's going to be a factor at safety. He's going to play safety against the Chargers and probably beyond. These receivers are going to see him coming over the middle. They're going to hear those footsteps, get a little alligator arm. I mean, Jaylen Ramsay can deliver a punishing blow. And so you saw him really pay close attention to Warren in this game. And just a couple plays earlier on one of Warren's 5 receptions, going nowhere, seeing Jaylen Ramsay on him like a hawk in this game, try to have play action and have Warren chip and release out, and Ramsay reads it the whole way and lights Warren up. Really strong tackle here from Jaylen Ramsay. That is just head across, drive, finish. What a play by Ramsay. We'll take a look from the end zone angle. Now, Colts got a touchdown on this drive. They went forward on 4th down a couple times, including, I think, the play after this one. But great job here by Jaylen Ramsay. Great form tackle to take Warren down. Pittsburgh man-to-man, not going to hide it. Warren going in motion, Ramsay following. Pittsburgh playing this cover 1 lurk with Queen, the underneath defender. Peyton Wilson falls off the running back and picks off Daniel Jones, who never saw him. Jones looking left here initially, potentially probably to Warren on this wheel route, going in motion. Colts love to use motion, not available. Jones has to come off that read, tries to hit downs on the pivot route, never sees Peyton Wilson, and it's an interception the other way. So just look at it again. Jones looking left side, Ramsay's on it. Jones has to come back, doesn't get eyes to Wilson, throws it right at him. Interception, one of 6 takeaways Pittsburgh had on the game. One last look at it from the end zone view. Ramsay going in motion, Jones having to come off that read. Wilson with the interception. Only downside, getting hawked down by Bortolini, who's a heck of an athlete, tested like that coming out of college. But Wilson probably saying, man, I should have scored on this play. But great play. Ramsay manning up, Wilson making the play. Similar to the first example, we see Warren split out wide and then motion in to chip Alex Highsmith. You see Ramsay following man-to-man coverage. Pittsburgh in cover 1. A lot of pressure. Pass incomplete. So 3rd and long. This was 3rd and 9. Pittsburgh manning up, playing a good deal of man coverage. I think 5 of 11 third downs Pittsburgh played cover one. And we'll talk about it more for the next clip, but Warren having to chip certainly was one way to slow down his impact in the pass game. This example, Warren is chipping. Pittsburgh's not manning up here with Jaylen Ramsay. They're playing actually two-man. Looks like they're playing a two-high look with the trail defenders underneath. Don't see that a ton at the NFL level, but regardless, you're seeing Warren have to chip. And one advantage Pittsburgh's pass rush of Herbig and Highsmith and TJ Watt offers is teams have to start with that. They have to control the rush. And so you can do that in a variety of ways, but a lot of teams will obviously chip with running backs and tight ends on those edge rushers to slow those guys down, give the tackle some help, quarterback more time. Really takes those tight ends out of the main part of the progression. They have to chip and release, and sometimes there's a downside defensively. They get lost sometimes when they, check and release and chip and release. That happened against the Bengals on a third down a couple weeks ago. But you naturally take those guys and minimize their impact. They're not running routes. They're just kind of checking and chipping and releasing. So, when Pittsburgh has that pass rush threat, these guys like Warren, they have to take care of that first. Otherwise, routes don't matter if the pass rush is getting home, and they naturally just don't get to run their normal route tree. It happens to Baltimore quite a bit. And so that's one advantage Pittsburgh has when you have those guys that demand so much attention. Even with Watt off the field on this play, still worried about Herbig, still worried about Alex Highsmith. And so these tight ends, Mo Alley Cox and Tyler Warren, have to block first, and it makes them more the check down option rather than running downfield routes. And everything covered up here. Porter getting the technical sack on this play. And then you got to tackle the guy. Warren's going to get his catches out there in space. He's been effective yards after the catch, and Pittsburgh generally tackled much better in this game than the Packers game in the pass game, but really on the tight ends. Tucker Kraft with that historic day, 143 yards, 2 touchdowns in week number 8. Peyton Wilson, they're running this boot action to the flat. Wilson catching up, showing his speed, and making that open field tackle. Nice gain for the Colts here. That's what they want, but Wilson making sure there is no explosive play here, making the tackle before the marker on the first down line. So just a good open field stop by Peyton Wilson. Can't be just linebackers making tackles. The DBs have to as well. Joey Porter Jr., bottom of the screen here. Warren to the flat. Porter coming down, making this stop. And so everybody has to tackle. Pittsburgh playing zone coverage here. Warren to the flat. Looks like maybe quarters. I'm not sure exactly. I didn't diagnose the coverage, but doesn't matter. The point is Porter making the stop here on a guy much, much bigger than him, which you have to do. It is required. So nice job here by Porter. No yak. And this play makes me smile. A good gain from Tyler Warren. What was the situation? 1st and 10 on this play. But watch the hustle of the rookie, Derek Harmon. And you see Cam Hayward. If you watch the last video I did of Hayward's game, really strong performance against the Colts. We saw him make the one tackle out there in space on that throw to Pittman. It's infectious. It rubs off on the rookies when they're watching a 36-year-old veteran player like Cam Hayward make those plays in space. So we showed a linebacker making a tackle. We showed a cornerback making the tackle. Now a defensive lineman hustling his butt off here. Obviously, has no responsibility to do so from an assignment standpoint, but just pure heart, pure effort, chipping in. Like playing Jonathan Taylor, these tight ends, 11-man job. Everyone's got to chip in, tackle, and really nice job by Harmon on this play. Not just execution, obviously, but just the heart and the effort to go out there and have the mindset to go make that play. So you combine schematics by getting Ramsay on Warren and taking him away after Ramsay moved to safety. You get the acknowledgement the Colts have to take care of the rush and chip, and that's a big part of where their offensive game plan had to start. Obviously, game script of stopping the run, forcing the Colts into third long, obvious pass situations, not staying on schedule, playing from behind, all go into needing to chip more often, and then just good old-fashioned strong tackling. Do all those things, you're going to have a good day. Pittsburgh had a really good day against the Colts and took away their biggest issue all season, the tight end. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys watching. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site SteelersDepot.com. Thank you again, and we'll talk to you soon.